Hey guys, welcome to Colony Hills Homestead. This has been a beautiful spring weekend. Wow, we have done so much work on the farm. We're kind of slowing down here this Sunday evening. This video that I'm putting out now, I want to talk to you about the tomatoes that we'll be planting this year. We're planting beefsteak tomatoes. This video will be primarily about beefsteak tomatoes. That is a large variety, if you're unaware. It is a slicer tomato. It is something that one slice is supposed to fit your whole hamburger, sandwich, whatever you're having. It's very juicy, it's meaty, it can be grilled. You can use it in stuffed tomato recipes, which is awesome. But the taste is totally different to me than what you'll get in the grocery store. Now, I'll tell you, you're very hard-pressed to find a beefsteak tomato in a grocery store. They're going to sell you a tomato that's quicker to grow, quicker to process, like a determinate tomato than they would an indeterminate. Now, the variety that I'm growing is indeterminate. So let's talk about this. If you're unaware, tomatoes and vegetables have two varieties that they can come in, determinate or indeterminate. Determinate means that they're going to grow to a certain size. They're going to put out a certain amount of blooms, you know, average, and a certain amount of fruit or veggies, and then they're going to die, okay, after they've produced. Indeterminate means they're going to live as long as the season will allow them to live, and as long as the farmer keeps taking care of them, they'll live till maybe a frost kills them. All right. Maybe your yield gets a little less, you know, as the days, weeks, months go on, but they produce throughout your spring and summer period, as long as you take care of them. So I have an indeterminate brand here, and it's beefsteak. I want to talk about seeds versus buying your tomato plants. So, you want to go to the big box stores and you want to buy a 4-pack, maybe a 6-pack of tomatoes and pay $3.58 or $4.25 or a little more, a little less. Go right ahead. Those are good plants, probably coming from great places. But I buy seeds. Goes back to why I hatch my own eggs and I do this and that. I want to start from the beginning. I want to do things cheap, and I want to do things that are fun. All right? I like planting the seeds. I love watching them germinate. I love putting in the effort to grow these, okay? These are all beefsteak variety tomatoes over here. They would cost me anywhere from $3.50 to $4 a 4-pack. And I've got 11 4-packs here, I believe. Most of them have 2 in each one. And it cost me less than $1.60. That's soil and all. So, I'm very proud of that. Now, let's continue on with tomatoes. A lot of people plant them. They're like, oh, I just can't do tomatoes. And they feel like tomatoes are hard. They're really not. But I have had failure in the beginning. So that's why I know what I know now. So I plant my seeds, they sprout, they come up, and after they get their first set of new leaves, which will be actually the second set, that's when I start hardening them up, which means, you know, if I can put them out in some sunshine and they get a little shade, you know, that's fine. I'm trying to transfer and let them know, you know, because I start my seeds inside a greenhouse. It's right behind me. A lot of people don't have that option. You know what? You can start your seeds indoors too. You just need to go get you a $2.50 light that you can shine in the direction of these seeds. So, or if you're lucky enough to have a window that gets 6+ hours of sunlight a day, you might be able to pull it off there. So The soil mixture I use is 50% peat, 50% coconut coir, coir, however you want to say it. And sometimes I put in perlite. I didn't this time. But the main thing, the reason I use this soil is because it is high in nutrients immediately. Has a lot of potassium in it. And it lets you know when it needs watering by drying out. And it forms a good pod inside the 4-pack that's easily transferable or transplanted. So that's why I go with that. So we have some beautiful plants here. Beefsteak tomatoes. It's a southern thing, I guess, because I could get a sandwich, slice it, put nothing but tomato on that sandwich and be fine. Be fine. So we're going to talk about a few things. Now, tomatoes are a nightshade plant. They're a vining plant or a bushing plant. Most of the determinate varieties are a bush type plant. Indeterminate varieties seem to be more gangly or need to be staked, trellised, stringed. You've heard of those things, right? So these are beefsteak tomatoes. They're gonna get tall. I've seen these bushes get 6-7 foot tall. You're gonna have to I cage mine, right? Some people string them. They'll put up boards, they'll put up string. That's fine, let them grow up. They're gonna need that because they're putting a tomato out this size, guys. Some of these tomatoes weigh a pound. So they got to have that size. They have to have water. If you're not in an area, which I'm not, that gets at least an inch of water a week, rainfall, then you're going to need to water these tomatoes, especially when you start seeing them bloom and when you have your tomatoes on the vine. They need water. Now, they also need aeration. So make sure you're doing plowing, hoeing with your hand. Doesn't matter. You've got to, on each side of the plant, you've got to give aeration. An important step that a lot of people, this will cause you to succeed or fail on having a good crop. And this is probably the most important part of the video. I want you to look closely at these tomato vines. If that will focus in, you see what looks like hair on the tomatoes? Those are roots. Those are air roots. So what we will do when we get ready to plant these in the garden, and I'll go ahead and do one now. I'm going to take these first 2 leaves off. Have you ever trimmed something and, you know, it lets you know when you trimmed it, it bushed out and it's really good? Yeah, okay. Same with these vines. So I took the first 2 leaves off right here. Hope I can finish this video before my phone goes dead. And then when I plant these plants, I'm going to put dirt up to this level. All of these will become roots that will solidify that plant, that will make it solid in your garden, that will make it grow that fruit that you need, okay? I believe in organic fertilizer. I raise quail here on the farm. Y'all know that. Y'all have seen the videos. So I use quail compost tea. I've got quail droppings and quail compost directly in my garden. So I expect to always have a good garden. But I'll tell you guys that don't have that, and this is one more thing that you need to know for success planting tomatoes. When you plant tomatoes, they take a lot out of the soil. You have to read up and learn or get an understanding of how to rotate crops. You do not need to grow tomatoes in the same place for 2 to 3 years. Grow something different there. Grow something different there. rotate your crops, rotate your dirt, rotate your garden. Tomatoes do not ever need to be planted in the same place back to back to back. They just don't. So, remember, trying to become a little more self-sufficient. Tomatoes are expensive. Grow your own. If you got a spot, it doesn't take but a 12 by 12 area. You know, my son grew beautiful tomatoes last year on his deck in Lowe's 5-gallon buckets. They were beautiful. So if you wanna do that, you can do it. Doesn't matter where you live. You can do it on a balcony. You can do it on a porch. You can do it in a garage. You can do it anywhere. So if you are really energetic and you want to be more self-sufficient, stop paying $1.60 for the seeds every year and do like I do and take one of your tomatoes, and it's only going to take one. Trust me, one. Cut it in half. Squeeze it out into a container. All the gel will come out, all the fruit, all the juices, all the seeds will come out. Let them sit for a few days. They're going to get moldy. They're going to get all that. Pour water in them. Stir them up. The seeds that go to the bottom are your healthy seeds that need to be planted. Pour everything off. If you want to put water in it again, vigorously stir it. The seeds that are good will go to the bottom. Pour the water off. Pour those seeds out onto something. Let them dry for a week. Let them dry for a week. Put them in a Ziploc. That'll be your seeds for next year. Colony Hills Homestead. Please like, share, subscribe our videos. We'll look forward to talking to you next time. Till then, have a good day.